I thought I could deliver on my promise that's a little bit more Top Gun friendly.
The first thing I want to talk about. Anyways, I wanted to do part one of this video with a true story. Before, my friend and I are on Twitch. She's an opera singer. She kind of takes after like the Britney Spears branding, where she has like it's Britney Bish. She's super talented. Definitely check her out. I highly recommend her. She's very kind and sweet. Definitely check her out on Twitch. We were on an app called 17Live, and I wanted to kind of preface this by saying don't feel embarrassed if you've been scammed. Because I'm disabled. I have autism and ADHD both. I have a double whammy. Some people have more than that. Some people are elderly and disabled. I'm lucky that I'm young and disabled, and I still get scammed. It does not make you stupid. It does not make you a bad person. It all happens to some of the brightest of individuals. So don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel ashamed if you've ever been scammed. Just know that once it's a scam, just block and report. Don't engage. Don't buy into the scam further, especially if it's the scam that I've been exposing. That is going to kind of tie into the next piece. We'll get to part two in a second. It was 17Live. Both of us were conned out of our money. I was paid a measly $100 US dollars in compensation for all the work I did, and I was severely underpaid. And I was finally was able to get rid of my account. Thank goodness. And I really, at first, I couldn't do it. The app was crummy. It was a weird service, like Best Bees, or whatever it was called. It was like some talent agency scam, and it wasn't legitimate. And I felt embarrassed by it, but like I didn't feel comfortable admitting it. 'Cause I felt ashamed of it for so long, so I kind of want to break the stigma and just kind of be like, if anyone's been scammed, it could be variety of scams, romance scams. The Twin Flames cult I'm exposing is like a psychic reading scam. So, like project's almost done. I got the last song written. So, and essentially, I just kind of got really fed up. I got really fed up because I couldn't cancel the contract that we had, which wasn't really been a real contract. And I finally just I just threw in the towel. And I went, I'm going to behave like I normally don't behave. I'm going to like break as many rules as possible. Mind you, I like to challenge norms. I do like to bend rules, like I like in a sort of like challenging the status quo in that way. I like to be a traditionalist at times. I'm not entirely conservative. I consider myself to be like if the audience really must know, I'm center wing. So like there are times where I am rather progressive and times where I'm not. It's just me being a free thinker, and so I like to bend rules, but I don't deliberately like go around showing blatant disregard, right? It's like if there's store policies, I'm not going to be disruptive in a store, or I'm not going to be disruptive in an establishment, or I'm not going to like cause problems in that way. I do like to challenge people, but in like a safe, healthy, like artistic way, like with poetry and music. And on this app, that wasn't the intention. All right, the goal was to get rid of the account because there was still like some sort of contract that wasn't even happening. And so I finally just looked at the platforms and was like, okay, this is based in Taiwan. What rules can I break? Oh, these guys are probably oppressed by the communist regime in China. And so I tried like a few. Oh, I'm filming while I'm driving, and I was like on the bus or something. Like I tried like that rule, which is like insta ban on a lot of platforms. That didn't work though. Definitely had my account flag, and a moderator was definitely called to the scene. I was definitely being flagged by that point, but nothing happened. I tried like Death to China, but it was like, okay, but this is Taiwanese, that's what they support, that won't work. No. And so like finally it's just like good Christian girl doesn't go all crazy, being racist or hurling slurs. Like I'm the kind of person that like you can't even get me to say the N word, and I love offensive satire. And it's like, but I want to be cognizant of my black peers. So if it's like, well, if someone black is asking me not to use it, then it's like, okay, like that's fair, right? Probably shouldn't go around like inciting the KKK in their face, which is fine. I like tried all that. I all these like stuff I don't even say. Like I'll be full uncensored. I'll be like f bomb. you can say all that stuff, but like heaven help, it's like a slur. That's where like as a person, just kind of in my overall interactions, even comedically, like that's just a line that I draw. But if like someone black uses the N word, to each their own. It's really like it's their history, it's their story. So I just kind of let them decide. And then I'm white, so I just don't say it. I'm not Eminem. I don't need to be Eminem. I don't need to be like I am racist to me, scream. You're like I don't, whatever about reverse discrimination. But anyways, I was rolling all kinds of this stuff. Nothing, no ban, nothing. And finally, I just went death to Taiwan. You are no longer permitted from using this app. And it's like that was the kicker. That was like instant. Account immediately. Live streams. Screen freezes. Live stream stops. I'm logged out of everything. Account was removed pretty quickly. And I remember logging into my Google search just to see if it was gone. I don't even think it took a month to remove it from Google search. It is gone. You clearly. It's like, if that's what it took, what you really gotta figure out is what makes the mod so mad. If you want your account gone, and so like as a moderator, as someone who's like a legitimate moderator who's trying to encourage respectful behavior depending upon the environment, right? Sometimes you gotta like be mindful of your surroundings. In a comedic environment, it's pretty much fair game with me. In the workplace, I do like call for like a little respect. It's like you don't want to be like harassing people in the workplace, right? It's like so it's a balance, right? It's a work-life balance. And so as I've kind of changed from being retail store worker to small business owner, trying to make a pitch to business merger to finally being able to deliver on that promise, I want to make sure that like, well, use my story to make a go-to guide of what not to do around other people, right? If you get banned on 1-7 Live, don't say it to other people. So like don't actually do that. Don't use my video as an excuse to like actually talk to people like that. But if the goal is to be as horrible as possible, apparently on 1-7 Live, if you say death to Taiwan, your account will be banned forever. So if your goal is to stay on the app, don't say that. And frankly, if your goal is to have any Asian friends, don't say that. So, yeah, don't be calling for people's death. Don't be yelling that stuff. Don't be threatening people. It's not cool. Contrary to past and present popular belief, or maybe now unpopular, and drowned out by popular opinion, I don't know because nothing's really being all that explained to me. Um, I really don't actually encourage or incite harassment. Actually, I am a stalking survivor. As I speak, I'm in the very unit where my stalker is trespassed. He cannot come here. If he comes here, police will be called. He will be arrested for criminal trespassing. So, he's long gone. Thank goodness. I'm beginning to think that he might actually be permanently out of my life instead of creating a new Facebook to intimidate and harass me further. So, as somebody who absolutely did do that, please do not actually go around doing that. And um, I wanted to kind of now segue that into part two, where I let slip that I could do a Mr. Mackey impression. I promised I would do a Mr. Mackey video if one of my videos got two likes on it. All I wanted was just 2 likes. That's all I care about. I didn't really place it. I just wanted like 2 individuals like this video, and they did. And they did this 2 years ago. So, I wanted to make sure this video isn't a total letdown. I promised I would do a story about how I got banned on purpose. So there you have it. I hope that it was entertaining. I hope that it was also informative. I hope that it also was non-judgmental to people who've been scammed in the past. I hope that this next piece can help parody the cult and help keep our B2B businesses growing. So without further ado, here's the piece. There are times when Zach gets suckered in by drugs and alcohol and sex with space chimp speaking plain, okay? That's when he does these things too much. He's become an addict and he must get back in touch with his true twin flame. he do it. It's all up to him, okay? With a little plan, he can change his life today. Spend his life addicted to cats.
His advocate.
My plan and face, so he will say, it's easy, okay? Instead of wife, say twin, like true twin flame, or you're a false twin. Step 2. Instead of cult, say cult, like cult classic and really cool witch. With the ring, drop the N, cause vig is English for generosity. Or don't say fuck, cause fuck is the worst word that you can say. Fuck is the worst word that you can say.